The COVID-19 pandemic has had a major effect on society. It has changed the way that people communicate. Instead of talking face to face, people now have to communicate from a screen. The stress of having to adapt to these new conditions has caused many to develop mental health issues such as anxiety and depression.
We're calling it stress, but the reality is it's anxiety over learning on a new platform. And then on top of it, just being very isolated while learning. And so we're social creatures. And so it's important to make sure you're connecting with your friends and trying to figure out ways to talk to them or Zoom with them or meet with them in a healthy way.
According to an October 21st poll done by the American Psychiatric Association, 62% of Americans feel more anxious than they did this time last year. This has caused many people to seek out different ways to cope with the stress.
It's really important that we stay connected and that we talk about what we're feeling, because just keeping it inside and not having that face-to-face interaction can be really upsetting for us, and it can really make us feel worse. So another way to cope is to just do activities that you personally enjoy. So if that's like riding your bike or creating artwork, not everything has to be through Zoom and through the screen. So really trying to find things that make you feel good, that are outside of the technology. I think that's what's helped me.
The pandemic has also had a major effect on college students. In a study done by Texas A&M University, 71% of students said they experienced increased stress and anxiety due to the COVID-19 outbreak. The major causes were decreased social interaction, difficulty concentrating, and increased concern for academic performance.
So I think that some students definitely are struggling through all of this. I gave a talk to a psychology group earlier, and one of the students commented that was the first live lecture from a faculty member they'd seen all semester, and that broke my heart. I mean, I get that maybe you have one or two classes that are recorded. I don't think that's the end of the world, but when all your classes are just recorded, I don't like that one bit. You know, I see news reports where students are questioning whether it's worth $100,000 for essentially what is now a bunch of online classes. And I understand students who question that. So I think the job of the faculty is to try to deliver the highest quality education that we can give, given the online format. And some faculty are very invested in that, and I think do a great job of that. Other faculty seem to be less invested, and that's heartbreaking to me.
College students aren't the only ones struggling with their new classroom settings. Grade school children also struggle with some of the classroom changes. However, some districts are adjusting to the pandemic better than others.
Like I said, I feel like kids are pretty resilient. I think that some of them are feeling some of that loss. Like, I'll give you an example. We're still having athletics, but some of the things that in fine arts are still, those kinds of things are still happening. But for example, you know, in years past, we've had what we call a senior night, where the seniors introduce and the parents come out and the senior comes out. Well, all that is having to happen electronically. And I think for some kids, they cope with that better, you know, than others. Like some just kind of roll with it and it's okay, and others it's like they feel like they're missing something.
While many communities are doing everything in their power to keep everyone safe, there has been a recent spike in cases in the last few months. According to the CDC, it's going to take a while before things return back to normal, even after the pandemic is over. But the CDC does give a few healthy ways to cope with stress, such as taking care of your emotional health, taking breaks from watching, reading, and listening to news stories, taking care of your body, such as taking deep breaths, stretch, and meditate, eat a healthy, well-balanced meal, exercise regularly, and get plenty of sleep. These are just a few ways of how you can help de-stress during COVID. For more information, you can go to the CDC website at cdc.gov.